Well, who am I to say no? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and a very warm welcome if you're new. A little while ago, I took to my socials and asked you guys to send me some questions, which brings me to today's video. I'm hard at work on a few different projects at the moment, and these little guys all need a makeover for that very reason. So, I thought that while I'm repainting them, I could do a little Q&A. Make the small repaints a little more interesting, you know? So, without further ado, let's jump in. Welcome to my spot asked, I went on your website for this hoodie but I don't see a pattern. If you've watched my last custom, you'll know that I announced I'll be making my patterns available for free download on my website. For now though, there's only one pattern available. They take a little while to make, and I'm very aware that I'm not a professional seamstress, so there's a bit of back and forth trying to make sure that the instructions will at least be clear, even if they maybe don't contain the right lingo and all of that. I've been thinking I could release a new pattern with every custom doll I make, until they're all up there. What do you guys think? Would that be good? Caticorn Arts asked, I've seen most doll artists use MSC, but you're using Mr. T. Why is that? Another thing you might notice while watching my videos is that instead of using the world-renowned and widely acknowledged as the best sealant, Mr. Super Clear, I use another Mr. Hobby product called Mr. Premium Top Coat, or as I like to call it, Mr. T. The reason why I use that is because it's the closest thing to MSC that I can find over here. I live in South Africa, and for some reason I just can't find MSC anywhere locally. I've seen the glossy one, but never the matte. It's also illegal to import flammable substances, and importing it through a company who has a license for things like that is either crazy expensive, or sometimes a hit and miss, depending on the company. There's a brand of sealant called Tamiya, which I've used before. It works great for hard plastics and resin, so it would be ideal for BJDs, I think. It also has a similar coverage to MSC, but it tends to react with vinyl and go sticky. I ended up settling on Mr. T because it does its job well enough. I've been happy with the results so far. Maybe one day when I live overseas and I'm a proper grown-up, I can try the big boy sealant. Faye asked, which custom doll has been your favorite so far? I mean, I've only done 2 proper ones, if you don't count Frankie, who was just an experiment really. And so far, every doll I've worked on has been really fun. I haven't talked about this much, but making these dolls is incredibly relaxing and freeing to me. It's the first time in my life that I can make something artsy just for me, with nobody looking over my shoulder telling me how to go about it, or what to change, or that my concept isn't strong enough. It's the first time that I can make something just because I like it, you know? And since they've all been that way so far, I really couldn't choose a favorite yet. I'll remember this question for the next Q&A video I do though. I'm sure I'll have a favorite by then. Monica and Dolly Choi both asked, how did you get into the hobby of doll customizing? It actually goes way back. I've always loved dolls. I used to play with them a lot as a child, and I used to really like making clothes for them. As I got older though, naturally I stopped. You know, you become a teenager and suddenly dolls are lame. And it was at that point that Monster High came out. I remember I used to go into toy stores and stare at them longingly, but I never bought them, which is a shame. Once I got into late high school and university, I actually started getting interested in making ball-jointed dolls. And a lot of those techniques are similar to what I do now. I even tried making my own BJD. You can see her at the very end of the Frankie video. She wasn't very successful. I also have a huge interest in animation and stop motion. So when I rediscovered Monster High dolls, I realized that with their articulation, you could easily make stop motion animations with them, which I thought was cool. And somewhere along the line between researching BJDs and looking into buying Monster High dolls, I discovered doll customizing. And I've been wanting to do it ever since. Dolly Choi also asked, how did you get started making your own original characters? I think this is also something that I've kind of been doing all my life. I love writing, and I've been writing stories ever since I can remember. And when you write stories, your brain just comes up with characters, how they act, how they talk, how they look. I also really love drawing. Well, actually I love any form of art, really. But whenever I'm writing, I like to draw my characters. I think it's the same for animation and for doll customs, really. My brain sometimes just comes up with characters out of nowhere while I'm daydreaming. And then I make backstories for them or think of what they might look like, where they're from, you know. Some dolls are based off existing characters, or sometimes even inspired by people I know in real life. Lindsay McPherson asked, do you paint or design clothes? I would love to design clothes, but I'm not sure I'd be any good at it. I do paint though. I actually studied art at university. I first studied graphic design before deciding it wasn't for me, and then I studied multimedia design in digital visual arts, which is what I have my degree in now. With my dolls, I still draw a lot. But during my studies, we also did painting, sculpture, figure drawing, animation, video editing. A little bit of everything, really. If you go to my first video here on the channel, you can see a short animation I made for my final year of university. And on my website, there's some more of my digital art and my sculptures, if you're interested. I don't think they're very good, though. So, tread lightly. Lindsay also asked, have you ever thought about designing and selling your own line of customizable dolls? I have, a lot actually. I would absolutely love to make a BJD one day, like completely design it from scratch and make it available for purchase. At the moment, I doubt I have the skill set, but it's definitely a goal of mine, and I'm hoping that one day in the future I'll be able to do that. Maybe I can start with something small and simple. What do you guys think? Would you want that? Cinnamon is Nice asked, would you ever do doll commissions or sell them? Maybe. At the moment, no. Mostly because I don't think I'm good enough to ask money for my dolls yet, but I do think it's something I might do in the future if people seem to want that and I feel satisfied with the quality of my dolls at that point. Would you guys want me to? The beta stage asked, what kind of dolls are your favorite to make? Oh, this is a difficult question. My personality and my taste in things are a little bit like that meme of the pink house and the black house next to each other. On the one hand, I love pink. I love cute, soft, girly things because I'm a marshmallow. But on the other hand, I love dark and spooky things. I love ghosts and aliens and zombies. I also really like ethereal things, and I'm interested in mythology. My entire final year project was based on creatures from Greek myth. So, to try and answer your question, almost anything. Which is why this hobby is so great, because I can just make whatever tickles my fancy in that moment. 10 out of 10 would recommend. The Beta Stage also asked, how do you feel about tabletop games like D&D? I really like them. I haven't gotten into that many of them, but I've been wanting to play D&D for ages now. I have all the handbooks and everything, I have my own dice, I have a character ready, all of it. I just need time and a group of friends who would play it with me. I would play it with my boyfriend and his friends, but they're all Portuguese, so I don't think it'll go that well for me. Inksy Pinksy asked if you could ride magical alpacas with any character from Lord of the Rings, who would you choose and why? Thanks so much for watching and supporting my channel. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay golden. Bye!